I've opened the Akashic Records of the General Akash, and I will share as I hear from them totality what is being shared. When I opened up the records and stepped into this energy, it's like a vast swirling energy. It almost feels like a hurricane, not a hurricane, like a tornado sort of energy. When you're in the eye of the storm, you're like in the eye of it, but you can kind of just feel the energy and the electricity and the power around you. It's September 23rd, 2022. I'm hearing ask your question. So I was just listening to a share by a woman a soul known as Penny Kelly, and she was talking about something big or eminent was going to happen in the next week to 2 weeks in the United States or in the world that might be very large, that we should be. You can never prepare for any big situation, Rita, even if it's like a natural disaster. Preparation for these things are not possible. Yes, part of it is your creator aspect, so you don't want to focus on something that doesn't feel good, and it really would not be good for anyone to plant a seed about what the future is, because you are an innate part of creating your future and experiencing everything around you through your lens of divine intelligence. Yes, we'll use divine intelligence in place of the word God. So what do we need to know? Everything you have is inside. Everything you have or desire is inside of you. Your film project gives visibility to energy around you, but it emanates and is connected to you from the energies that are emanating inside of you. Your cells are part of those. The cells are not complete structures, meaning that you want to look inside this. You've always wanted to look inside, or you've interpreted what the masters at Rebecca Dawson shares as looking inside the cell, but it's not really just the cell. It is and it isn't, but it's never a completeness within the cell. Do we need to know more about this, or what do we need to know more about? Your soul essence, your soul energy is, connected throughout your body and to things around you, as well as other planets. You have a space of knowing and feeling very limited because you really try to decipher your environment based on what you see. And that's unfortunate because, for the most part, people cannot really see the interconnectedness or the energy or the energies and frequencies that are around you. You just saw a visual of Lorna Byrne talking about how the angels connect you with gold threads. And that's resonance. That's the energy of resonance. It's like when you're supposed to meet somebody and it feels like a divine connection or angelic connection. It's the frequency of resonance. You could think of it as a little gold thread if you like. Your body's reacting to the resonance of connecting into this energy. Yeah, I can feel that. It feels like a swelling, like it's just like energy or air that wants to come up. You know, it's kind of almost spiraling up through me, and it's the exit. It kind of hits my throat area, and it's your way of getting used to the energy you've stepped into. Your body's just adjusting to it. And it's very normal in the human condition when you connect into energies this way. So what do we really need to know? Like, okay, so you said there's nothing we can prepare for. Yes, we just showed you the visual, the eye of the needle. Everyone is going to have an opportunity to understand from their own perspective what the eye of the needle is. So if you would like to sit with the understanding and think about the things that are most important to you and the things that you need. Yes, your friend Debbie explained the taking of the 2 suitcases to the island because it's only what you can carry. So that's a very strong visual. If you need a visual, because maybe the eye of the needle is too complicated. If you thought that you had 2 suitcases to pack to take where you're going, yes, you could say, okay, it's going to be what you want to know what the weather is. Of course, that pops in your head because you feel very limited by the weather. If you follow the man named, or the one known as M. Hoff, he will explain that you actually don't need protective gear for the cold weather and things like that. These are ideas that have been planted so deeply in you that you will actually complicate your life and die from things that you think you are supposed to experience or feel or have or whatever, and don't have or have more exposure to than you should, things like that. So what's the relevance of the eye of the needle or taking 2 suitcases? In essence, you're going to be given an opportunity to really understand how powerful you are. The meditations that you love, the Joe Dispenza meditations, are preparing you for that. Everyone's different. Yes, you are energy that never ceases. So the idea of getting too angst about any of these things is wasted energy, but it is where you are. It is where you are in this energy on Earth right now. It's not really a yanking and trying to yank people to another belief system or another way of knowing or being, because everyone will get to that on their own. It's like your friend Cheryl was saying, everyone's view is their view, and they will be wherever they need to be with it. So you just asked about the collective and how the collective plays into where you are. That was more of a 3D concept that was guided by some programming on your planet that is going away. Yes, you've been told about how certain areas of the world have more programming or less programming, and that can help or detract from your creativity or your creator capacity. That has been true. There is still an essence of that, and that will fade and change over time. You are connected to the earth elements, but the core of the earth is very different. There's a resonance with the core of the earth, or the main core of the earth, but it's very different than the elements. So this is somewhat similar to the idea of it being affected or resonating with the collective. That law of attraction always abounds. There's no law of insertion. So, doesn't sound like there's really anything to do. Well, you can decide what you want to focus on. You can decide what you want to listen to, what you wish to believe, what you wish to trust. We would say that going inside or being very calm in your body, where you're feeling your skin, you're feeling the inner energy of your body, and then sort of allowing and tapping into the energy around you, listening to your heart as we keep guiding, listening to the space that feels open, expansive, and loving. Those are the things you move towards. Whether it's people in your life or a trip in your life. We would give you the challenge that if you have people or events in your life, that when you think of them, they don't make your heart sing or feel expansive or loving or that embrace of freedom. We would say, play a game. And as you see them happy. If you knew of them in a particular time when they were exceptionally happy or strong or healthy or those sorts of things, visualize them that way. See if you can sense them that way in your cells. And lean back into observation and see what happens. You may ask, I just didn't know how long we should do a share for. We would suggest that you do this once a week, and we will share with you what is feeling most predominant, and you can ask us what questions you have. So I will say I've had kind of a slight headache the last few days, and I've wondered about the pressure or kind of what's happening, and maybe that's the question I was curious about with Penny Kelly. She said something was building, and when she started to touch it, it felt really big, and she didn't want to step into that energy. Rita, you can step into whatever energy. Your energy is so strong. So strong. Don't be worried about stuff like that. Penny Kelly is a very strong person, soul, or the one known as Penny Kelly, and she should not have any worries about this as well. Your bodies are receiving a lot of pressure right now, depending on where you live. The environmental changes are happening. As you know, in your area, there's been storms and pressure, for sure. You felt less of that yesterday when you did the Joe Dispenza meditation in the morning. and it got you into really good vibration. So keep finding things like that feel good. Nurturing your bodies right now is really important. You did the blessing of the energy centers last night, and that was okay, right? But you really liked the other one. It gave you more energy. It doesn't mean the blessing of the energy centers is not a good one, because focusing and loving on all aspects of your body are very powerful. Again, everyone finds their path of least resistance and more allowance and expansion. Just know that the next number of months ahead, it will be a little bit like encouraging you to look for those 2 suitcases and what would you take with you. And remember, it's about the fun and the joy. So as you think of those 2 suitcases, what would feel fun and joyful and light and expansive? Yes, it could be a special outfit. Oh, it could be the supplements you think you need to have. Oh, it could be the memories of something, a picture. Think about what you took to South Africa and how much you took with you and how much you brought back with you. Yes, it brought you joy and love and comfort to have those things. But by having those things, did it limit you from then adding to the experience of exploring and seeing new things? You will never know. So remember, there's a gift. There's these gifts in things not always being the same. Your Joe Dispenza speaks of that. He says, you could take yesterday and put it on the next day and the next day and the next day. And it's like you're on a train track that's just going around and around and around until you make a decision to change directions, to bring in a new path. And yes, that's what he is excellent at doing. And there are many other teachers on your planet and people sharing information and tools that help you to get out of these patterns. What else would you like to say or ask? So, in recap, we can't really do anything about what might happen. And if we think of something negative is happening, we are part of the creation of that. Sort of. The idea is that you only have the present moment. So if you're going to spend your time worrying or anxious about something in the future, you've wasted your present moment. And you may, in essence, create something that you don't really want to experience. So why not spend time thinking about things that you want to create that feel really good to you? We're going to close this time with you and let you think about that. Remember how powerful you are. Remember the energies that pulse through your body. Remember to talk to your angels and guides and the divine intelligence known as the universe and God. Speak in a way where you're open to listening and being guided from an appreciative, loving heart. Appreciation allows everything to flow to you. God bless you.